Ooh, oh, okay guys, yeah. We got some pretty big news here today as of recording, because some people like to watch post like 3 weeks later. But anyways, we had some ginormous news relating to the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This has been probably the most anticipated game of all time since 2019, since it was announced, and they've all gone finally and done it. So we got two really big announcements to talk about today. The first one is gonna be our longer one for this session, but today Nintendo dropped a nice little 10-minute video of the series producer Eiji Aonuma playing 10 minutes of this game. That's crazy. We have not gotten any real solid gameplay other than the really vague trailers they've been dropping in Nintendo Directs or Twitter releases. And so to finally have some concrete gameplay is awesome. And this gameplay, trailer, demonstration, whatever they call it, gave us a whole lot to look at. So I'm just gonna kind of go over the big things that I noticed in the trailer, demonstration, and just kind of what, comparing to the original Breath of the Wild, because guys, I've played like 300 hours of the original Breath of the Wild. I know the world like the back of my hand. I know the world of Breath of the Wild better than I know my own planet. So, let us begin. The first thing that Aonuma really starts off with is Link on the horse, riding through the fields. We are in kind of like that, past the Dueling Peaks, kind of before Kakariko Village. We're kind of in that area, and we actually get to see the setting and kind of the Dueling Peaks themselves. And when you look over, because in Breath of the Wild there's a shrine in the little pond across from the stable, the shrine is gone. I don't know if they've all just magically disappeared or there's going to be some in-story lore for them, but they're gone. And then you do see some other like built-up things. This is a more Hyrule. It's different. But then he kind of pans up to the main attraction of this game, the floating islands. The floating islands are just sick. The floating islands are awesome. They look magnificent as he's riding, and it shows a stone falling from the heavens, and it looks like from the gameplay we get to see a little bit of what Link's new hand is gonna do. Now this kind of replaces the Sheikah Slate from what I've gathered, and so the first ability, and probably one of the coolest, is the ability to rewind time.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
And he actually uses it to like jump up to the Sky Island. We saw a little bit of this in the trailer, but we didn't really get an explanation. And then as he's going up, this is the recall ability, you can see a little interesting little shrine looking thing. I'll pause the video in frame for you guys, but this is a little interesting. It wasn't there, but it looks kind of like a volcano of swirly green things. So yeah, that looks pretty sick. Obviously we get good shots of Link in his new outfit, the new rendition of it, and then we get to see a little bit of what the Sky Islands are gonna look like. This first island he goes on shows a little bit of the atmosphere and what the islands are gonna look like, and then he shows off a really awesome new mechanic, which I think is going to vastly change the way we think about this game and the world of Breath of the Wild. Something called weapon fusions. He fuses a tree branch and a stone and makes a giant club. And he uses it to defeat these awesome looking ancient robot enemies, which I forget the construct, I think is what it's called. And so these things look awesome. And this new fusing weapons is gonna revolutionize the way we think, because, you know, you pick up a tree branch in Breath of the Wild and you're like, oh, that's dumb, I'm gonna get rid of that ASAP. But no, in this game, you're really gonna be forced to think about the weapons you're choosing, the fusion of it, and really how you're gonna tackle challenges. So this fusing mechanic is really amazing, and he showed off a couple of other weapons like long range, and he even showed off a little bit of like you can fuse with your shield and arrows and bow and arrows. And when we get a look at the fusing menu for the bow and arrow, we do get a kind of like glimpse of some of the newer items that have been added. So it looks like we're getting some amber, some korok leaves, some onions, what it looks like. I'll have it all up on the screen. But yeah, looks really cool. Glad to see we're getting some more items, and this new menu is really interesting as well. But fusing, this is gonna be an amazing mechanic. I'm so excited to check this out. Even does it with the shield, and you can like mess around with elements and stuff, so it looks so cool. And then another thing you can do with the fusing that he showed off was actually building things. He builds a boat to get across a lake, and we saw a little bit of this in the most recent Nintendo Direct trailer where they showed like a car and a flying machine. And you can build all that stuff with like the attaching and fusing kind of thing. Man, what a cool idea. This is like Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts here, but better, but Zelda. So he builds like a boat, like a raft, and it's so cool how he does it with the logs and the fans. But this is going to open up building more things to transport. This will be like the Master Cycle Zero on steroids. After seeing this, my brother was like, I'm gonna build a tank. And just be like, that would be hilarious if we could take a tank, go up to the guardians that menaced us in the previous game, and I'd be like, sup? And then just utterly destroy them with our cannons. That would be so cool. They call this ability the Ultra Hand, which is definitely not a reference to that toy from the early 1900s that Nintendo made. Definitely not. But yeah, so they do talk about the building all the different crazy like contraptions you can make, which is amazing. And then he talks a little bit more about ascending, which is another ability that makes climbing mountains and stuff a whole lot easier, which this looks really cool. I'm all down for not needing to climb mountains, because it can be a hassle to climb a mountain. So really amazing to see that in action. We saw that in like the first real trailer where you kind of like water dropleted but through the thing, but it looks like you can do it on the fly maybe. So that's gonna be really cool, really cool. And then some skydiving. It looks like we get some skydiving too. We got like kicked off, and you can like skydive down below. And I don't know what hardware they're running the game on, but it actually looks pretty advanced. Like, it's not stuttering a lot, what I could gather from the trailer. So I don't know if they're doing this on their next-gen hardware that's coming out next year or so, or if they're running this on their PCs, their like external PCs. But game looks really beautiful, definitely graphically on par with the original, and I think it might look better. Honestly, we'll have to look at more when the game comes out, obviously. But yeah, so that was the 10-minute demonstration of Aonuma-san giving us the gameplay. It was a really amazing trailer, or demonstration, I keep calling it trailer. But it was a really cool thing for them to do, and this just makes me really want to play the game. Like, we're only, as of recording, like a month and a half away from the game coming, and I'm just really freaking hyped to play this and make my own wacky contraptions. I'm gonna build a tank. You guys know I'm gonna build a tank. You know, we're all gonna have to make our guardians. We gotta show the other guardians who's boss. So, along with the gameplay demonstration, they also dropped a trailer for the aforementioned leaked Switch OLED model. Now, I was going to talk about this when it was leaked, the Switch, but I opted not to because leaks are just leaks and rumors. No matter how convincing they are, they can be false. But this one was true, and we got solid evidence, a solid trailer, much like Splatoon and Pokemon, of a Zelda Edition Switch OLED. I have been waiting waiting ever so patiently for Nintendo to give me a Zelda-themed Switch. I love Zelda. I'm a huge Zelda fan. When they did the Skyward Sword Joy-Cons, that was amazing, but they were Joy-Cons. Just Joy-Cons. They really didn't do anything else for the game, and it's a crime they didn't make a Breath of the Wild Special Edition system. But I guess it makes sense, so I don't know. But yeah, we got a Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Special Edition OLED Switch. It's got the gold and white Joy-Cons, the gold etchings on the dock and on the Switch. Oh my gosh, it is one of the most beautiful consoles I've seen. The gold is just outstanding. The etchings on the one controller has like green and one has white. It's beautiful. The dock has like the Hyrule symbol with the dragon thing, and it's got all the symbols. We've got white Joy-Con straps, and the gold just looks fantastic. I can't wait to see that in person. And it's got the white Joy-Cons, so yeah, a really awesome thing. It is an OLED model, so they're not doing a brand new Switch, like, revision just yet, but I think that'll be coming next year, most likely. Along with the Switch, we did get more, so much like Splatoon 3, we got a carrying case. Who cares? It's just a carrying case. I know you're really here for that Pro Controller. Ooh, that Pro Controller. Oh man, it looks so good. They should have done a Breath of the Wild Pro Controller, honestly. But the Tears of the Kingdom Pro Controller looks absolutely gorgeous. There is one white handle and one like regular handle, call it. The white looks a lot like the Super Smash Brothers one they did, but it's got the gold etchings, it's got the Triforce, it's got the weird lizard circle thing. It's got it all. I'm super excited. I'm definitely gonna get this because my Splatoon 2 one is kinda petering out. I've been using it for like 6 years, so definitely gonna check this one out, or the controller out. Definitely gonna grab that. But super cool to see that they're doing a themed system and controller. Like, we kind of were expecting it, but at the same time, to get it like officially announced is absolutely mind-boggling. That's gonna do it for me for now. I've been King from Kingdom Studios. Be sure to subscribe. We're really close to 400 subscribers, and I'd really appreciate it if we could get up there. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this game, and if you're ready for Tears of the Kingdom. I'm so ready. Go back, play through Breath of the Wild beforehand, because that game is an amazing game. And join me for my live streams. We are live. We're definitely going to be doing more live streams now that we're a month and a half away from the Tears of the Kingdom coming out. So we have to beat Breath of the Wild before we can start this one. So I am streaming Breath of the Wild. We've done about 3 parts so far of Breath of the Wild, and it's a really great time. We have some laughs, we play through an incredible game, and you know, we just have a lot of fun. So anyways, I've been King from Kingdom Studios. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. Have a legendary day.